into it. In the bottom right corner, our blue Protoss player looking to have a better shot against this guy than anyone else has had today. This is going to be herO. He takes on the Red Terran. In the top left from Team Liquid, we've got Cure. Putracana, thank you so much. Putracana? I'm trying to say your name properly. Thank you so much for the 3-month resub on the Prime. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the generosity of dropping your sub on the channel. Really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is having a great day again. Once more, this is a WardiTV tournament, which means that I will ask for your support. If you've got a spare sub going around, you've got a Prime sub available, if you're just feeling generous and you've got a few dollars to spend on a sub or gifting some subs, etc., it all goes a long way towards us running more events just like this one. So do consider supporting. Like I say, these tournaments do not happen without you guys being awesome and helping them to happen. We are doing our best to keep as much StarCraft 2 on the Twitch as possible. We want to keep on streaming as much as we can. Thanks for the Prime reminder, says Hyperion99. 3 months on the Prime as well. Thank you so much for using it, like I say. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yep. There's no greater waste than a Prime sub that doesn't get used. It just sits there. It does nothing. It's free money. It's free money to be given to a streamer. And support StarCraft 2 with it. I'm not saying everyone in the stream has a Prime, but if everyone in the stream had a Prime and used it, that would be $2,500 or something every month that we could put into a StarCraft. That could just be a StarCraft 2 tournament every month, you know? That is our monthly event with a prize raise. Primes are powerful. Use them if you've got them. Say, all your support really does go a long way, guys. Helps us out a whole bunch. Reaper, sorry, came off with that proxy. He's going to go Reaper into the Concussive Shard Marauders against. This is what we saw him doing earlier as well against Harston. Harston kind of just rolled over and died to it, unfortunately. We'll see what Cure is able to do against herO with this build order now as the Hellion chases up. We're actually going to get that probe. And obviously the Hellion is seen, so you know this Hellion's as well here as herO. He's got a wall off on this low ground. So yeah, Cure used this build earlier and very well for him. Let's see how herO tries to adapt to defend it, as a couple Marauders will step forward. Going to get straight onto this pylon. That's an issue because that pylon's taking a lot of damage and nothing else powers this gateway. I'm going to put another pylon right next to it right now. Adept, 2 Stalkers, going to try and chase away and will do so, but like I say, the depowering is pretty rough. Hellion tries to slip by. We get a lot of damage on it with the Adept chasing. I think we're going to clean this up with maybe 1 probe loss if the Hellion even stops to fire. Meanwhile, the Marauders come back through though, and Stalker's taking some shots now. Probe's taking the attention. Pylon's going to go down again. Hero's definitely having a rough start of this game. Another Marauder showing up. The Stalker gets forward. Just going to have to turn and fight, do as much damage as we can. Can we at least get rid of 1 more Marauder? We can. Volcade going to be done in a second, but another Stalker going down. Here's the Immortal. That will be the cleanup, but it took a long time, and it took you a lot of probes being pulled as well. He was about to have a CC back at home behind this, so looking to be in a comfortable position following up. But now it's... I just want to say thank you as well to Cloud Computing for the Prime sub as well. Thank you so much, mate. I was just waiting for a gap in the action to say thank you. I appreciate it. And yo, NATO Flex coming in with the fresh new sub as well. Thank you so very much. And NetBean on the 10-month resub on the Prime. Thank you for being the circuit. I really hope I'm not the circuit. I really hope we have something more than me. We'll do our best to fill as much StarCraft 2 as we can if we need to, though. Thank you so much for the 10 months. Thank you, NatoFlex, for the fresh sub. Thank you for kicking off a little hype train even. A little sub, a genuine little sub train. A few subs in a row. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Alright, Stalker, Prism, coming across. We do put some pressure on. Barracks is going to be taking some damage. Are you tripping, or is this the 4th consecutive match with Cure playing? No, you're not tripping. That's how this works. Everyone plays everyone. So the sometimes the way we watch it is just a bunch of the same players in a row. The scheduling works out like that sometimes. We did 4 Hearthstone games in a row to begin the day as well. Those Cyclones will lock, and those Cyclones will turn around the couple of units there. We try and get across to the left-hand side, where this bunker is going to start taking some damage. The SCVs pull through. With the SCVs pulling in, the bunker is going to drop already. The Observer just going to be there as well. The Stalkers trying to get across to the side. Obviously, it's the Cyclones in that Prism, or in that Medevac, sorry, that are trying to relocate. Useful units for like a certain amount of this game, but there's going to be a point where those Cyclones just don't do anywhere near as much anymore, and at that point life's going to become a lot more difficult as Stalkers, Immortal, and Prism head down to the bottom. Some Stalkers load up, we pull around the right hand side. Medevac has a couple of Cyclones coming down the left. The Stalker's going to go after a Tech Lab as well. We'll clean that out and load the Stalkers into the Prism right here. Medevac on the left-hand side is going to come down that direction again. The Observer going to move across. Two Cyclones going to aim through the bottom side of the map and head toward the main base. The Observer around the left side will make its way up once again, and we go into the main base. A couple of Cyclones we're thinking about dropping, not quite going to happen. Cyclones lock onto that pylon. That pylon is going to go down, so the pylon will fall. And we see the Prism taking a couple shots damage as well. We just see the Medevac having to escape through the bottom. Stalker's going to be there. Actually, really felt like he was going to get a few more shots on that Medevac and try and get rid of it. Didn't quite happen in the end. Cure's supply already looking fantastic. I mean, I think repercussions from herO taking so long to clean up that attack early are starting to show. 50 workers each right now. herO's army supply way down on Cure's. His tech not exactly ideal. Look at the unit comp right now from herO, and it's going to be, yes, okay, some High Templars and Storm, but like, he doesn't have a ton of Zealots, he doesn't have a ton of support, he doesn't have a ton of tech units, so what he has is very limited, and that's going to be a factor as this game gets set up. So that bio goes around the right. These Zealots get warped in, the cannon coming online, +1 attack, about to finish on the Forge, the Blink Chrono boosting on the Twilight Council. Tanks going to siege. We are going to see the Zealots going to try and lead into this. Going to drop the High Templars on top of the tanks to give them a chance to storm. Oh my goodness. What an ugly fight for herO. He couldn't have approached that in a worse way. He loses everything and the Storms do barely anything. I mean, I don't think he was in a great position to take a fight anyway, realistically. But that really wasn't it as those Zealots go charging forward. 1 tank, 2 tanks, both going down. Stalkers and the Immortal going to be there as the Medevac gets pushed away. The cannon going to get a few shots off, and that Medevac taking some damage again. A few more shots coming about. A lot of units just from here are going to counterattack, which might create a bit of confusion for Cure, but overall, I love where he's at. He's actually going to force a recall. Those units going across are going to recall in, but that's just a couple of Immortals and Stalkers. Little Mine goes off. I will get rid of at least one Immortal here. We lift up, we back away. In the middle of the map, herO is going to clean up a few bio units there at least, so herO is having some small victories in amongst what has been a grand scheme of losses, honestly. Medevac, Marine Marauder, Widow Mines in production once more. Give ourselves the +2 attack upgrade. Still going to boost now at the Forge and the Zealots. Charging into the Natural and the Bunker, taking some damage. Widow Mines and Bio units coming back across this other side. A couple of Widow Mines are going to kabang, and that's a couple of Zealots going down already. The Widow Mine's going down too. Bio Force still trying to get going. A couple of High Templars trying to storm it up. Or, I mean, herO just dies to a Widow Mine as well. Now walking into the storm with those Zealots. herO losing 15 probes on the other side, leading into this attack. He is just not going to get enough done. As Kira is going to extend his lead to about a 50 supply advantage. And he's going to be looking extremely good for this opening game against herO. And again, if Kira wins this series, he's 4-0 in the group. He is going to get out of here in first place. First place means you advance straight to the quarterfinals. You don't have to play a round of 12 matchup, which is a huge factor. So that is looking pretty great at the moment. SCVs going down. Again, Ghost, Marauders, Viking. Just all this stuff. I mean, look at the production tab here. An Armory, Ghost. Talk about prepping for the future, basically, where on the other side we are not going to be really having much of anything. Nice storm, hits some of the bio again. But Kira needs more than a nice storm. He needs something shy of a miracle. There goes the Prism, dies with the Widow Mine shot. A little bit of a slap in the face, all things considered. Will MaxPax be invited to this tournament? That really depends on if my final invite accepts or declines. If they decline, I do have a spot open. I talked about this yesterday. I kind of just forgot about MaxPax when I did the invites. Not gonna lie. Sounds a bit stupid, but there's just a lot of Protoss players to invite in this day and age, and I don't know. I got excited about all the other pros I was inviting. I just completely forgot about MaxPax for a little bit. So yeah, we will see. Really, like I say, depends on my other invite. I've already sent an invite out to someone else. So if they accept, will not be spaced, but if they decline, there is a possibility. Fire working down at the bottom, the Prism going to be there. Feedback, feedback. We take a couple Ghosts and get rid of their energy. The Ghost getting underneath and the Marauders stimming forward. Prism just about escaping away off over to the bottom right-hand side. Archons and Zealots continue to gather up. Prism getting healed up by the battery. EMP not landing just yet. Kira's just going to fall back. Playing very safe, and I think most of that comes to the fact it's King's Cove. It's not easy to attack into a 3-base Protoss. This base only just coming down. If that was already up, I think Kira would have committed onto it, but yeah. Oh, that's a freeze. That's not good. Is that me? Oh, that's a lovely one. We have internet, though. You guys can still hear me, right? Yeah, this is literally just my, BattleNet disconnecting. Yeah, the best part is that it's not even... Yeah, the best part is that actually... Oh, there we go. It's literally, like, my second PC, which is hosting the game, didn't lag out. It's literally watching me lag out, but we came back, so we're good. Apparently it's not good. Okay, well... Okay, it's multiple people lagging out right now. It's the Korean servers throwing a hissy fit, guys. Classic Korean server. Hissy fit. Alright, bit of bio. Gets across, couple of Zealots gonna get jumped on. And we'll see if we can just recover without having to do... I don't want to jump out because I feel like this game is on the verge of ending. I don't want to have to jump out and reload a 14-minute game and stuff, you know? So if we could just, if we just survive through to the end of this game, at least that would be lovely. Couple scans coming down. Ghosts are going to shoot. The Observer goes down as well. Fire Army still collecting together. A couple of EMPs potentially going to come through. Snipe, snipe. High Templar goes down. Battery going to do some healing. Big Bioforce going to start stepping through the Prism. Drops a couple of High Templars off. Trying to make this exciting, but I think the reality is it's just not that exciting. To me, I mean, herO's going to try and take a fight here. If herO does anything successful in this fight, I'll be mesmerized, because there should be a crushing defeat in every way, shape, and form. Zeld will go down. It's another nice Storm. Okay, to be fair, the Storms and the flanking High Templar were very good. If I'm herO, I'm maybe a little bit afraid of another game, because if the game is any closer, herO might be able to take good enough fights to absolutely win out. I think there's a couple moments there which were not as pretty as they maybe could have been. More shots continue to come through. Bio goes moving back across. A couple of Storks coming over. Storm coming down. Bio goes going to take some shots. Disruptor shot going to fire. Going to go in the middle of nowhere. I'm just going to keep coming through. Liberator is going to continue to play sieging. And we are just going to say GG's. Kira is going to take game number 1 of this best of 3 series. So, Kira takes the first game of the matchup, and he is going to get that. I mean, 4-0 in the group. He would be first place straight through to the quarterfinals. In the bottom left, it is going to be the blue Protoss player. It is going to be herO. In the bottom right, our Red Terran taking the 1-0 lead, looking for a 4-0 first place finish in this group. That would be impressive. It's Kua. Kind of funny that we start off with Harstam, who unfortunately went 0-4. But then we are on our way to potentially then going into all the Kua matches, and he may potentially here go 4-0. That's a pretty wild... yeah. Pretty wild kind of comparison, and obviously kind of leaves us in an interesting place where we're then going to have 2 spots to be decided over the final 3 players. Solar, Showtime, and herO still have to play against each other. So those games are, if herO loses this and Kua gets to a 4-0, those games will pretty much just decide. It'll be a 3-player round robin to figure the final spots out. Alright, Pro gonna nibble, Deeper comes down, we'll get our racks and our gas coming through. The Cybercore builds on the other side of the map from herO, so we get that started. We get that underway. And away we go. We're gonna Cybercore, Nexus coming through, Factory coming up from Kua. The Probe's gonna turn around from herO, and going to be satisfied with what we've seen so far, which is honestly not all that much. Oh, all over 47. Thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime. I appreciate it. How are you doing? Thank you so much for priming us up. Thank you for all the subs. You had a really good sub day yesterday, guys. We're trying to get back to 700, which is a great constant to be at. But every sub really helps because, like I say, we're trying to keep StarCraft 2 alive over here. And, yeah, we are trying to do that with your support, as we always have done. If you guys are... I mean, I will just say this because some people out there, if you guys do want to continue seeing StarCraft, like I say, those are great ways to support. I know some people just don't know, but if you just want to sponsor a tournament, if you're just turn out to have a bunch of money and you love StarCraft 2 and you would like to run a tournament, you can always reach out as well. This might seem like the craziest thing to mention, but it keeps happening. Where people keep emailing me like, hey, I never really realized, but you just take money off people to run tournaments. I'm like, yes, I do. So, feel free to reach out. Twitch, Twitter, Discord, wherever. Email. If you're genuinely just interested in sponsoring stuff, we can put stuff together. Like I said, it seems crazy to say it, but like it keeps happening, so you know. What's up, Bad Philly? Thank you so much for the fresh new Prime sub. And hello, Zergling on the 96-month resub as well, mate. 96 is a multiple, no? That's a year resub. Is that 8 years? Holy. 8-year resub from hello, Zergling. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Medevac comes boosting over into the main base. It's going to be a Widowmine and a few Marines going to step through. We're just going to be seeing the Stalker taking quite a bit of damage. I mean, herO in position, but that has not stopped Q from being able to push the Stalker back. We're going to... Oh, I love the retarget on a Stalker. Oh, he gets the double kill off the Widowmine. One Stalker was low, and because of that, the splash kills it. It's a great retarget, because herO's probably like, okay, I give up this Stalker that's already hurt, and I can get through and defend. Instead, he loses 2 Stalkers, then he still lost 4 probes. He gets a cleanup, but I think Q is very happy with this trade. 2 Stalkers are expensive, 4 probes is a disruption. It's kept the Stalkers back so they're not in position to be aggressive when Blink is finishing. Yeah, very good starting point here. Let's just have our Cyclone gathering up in the high ground. We do see the Stalkers coming across to the far right. Banshee, Siege Tank, Marine, Cloakane all coming up. Add a Nexus on from herO. We got our third base going on the left-hand side from herO as well. So we got our third base up and rolling here. Pylon going to drop down into position. So we see our Stalkers blinking across. A couple of SCVs will begin to go down. Stalkers continue to try and chase. Would love to get a blink up to the high ground. Siege Tank doing very well to continue picking away at those Stalkers. 7 SCVs going down so far. Cyclone will now lock on. Going to chase those Stalkers over to the corner. It's going to be a couple of these Stalkers going down as well then, so they will get picked away at. We get a recall into play. We lose a Stalker as well, so we recall and then it loses out anyways. 7 SCVs is nice, but all of a sudden we cloak up and in we go. Fortunately, we're a little bit afraid that there's going to be detection available, which there is. There's 2 observers on the map, and so I think a smart pullback to use this Banshee a little bit later on, because yeah, there's a very high chance that you're going to get a chance to use it a bit further down the line instead, so... Couple Marines and the Siege Tank come through. The other Banshees in the main base, and there's no battery in position just yet, and the Observer's out of location too. So we get 3 more workers, and a lot of this is just setting up for your army to come through the center and take position. That's exactly what we're aiming for through the middle of the map. That's going to be a huge factor. There's a couple probes come down this round. We're going to get rid of those very easily and comfortably. Goodbye to those guys. Thankful Siege. A couple Stalkers getting turned around, and we get back onto the pylon. Will go down as well. The Raven continues over. This Observer just drops. The pylon falls down. The Nexus continue to take some damage. 6 probes dead at the moment. Stalker's going to blink out through the bottom side. The Banshee moves in toward the main base. Again, Marines, tanks, and Cyclone gathering together. Nexus still taking some shots. I think the Banshee hitting away at a few of these probies. And a few of those workers continue to go down. There goes 1. Here goes 2. I mean, this is just a huge push in. I mean, here is not stopped. A couple of the tanks are going to be out on the edges, but we've actually denied charge. Oh, Pylon finishes up. It's pretty clutch. Can we actually finish the Twilight Council off in time? I think we do. Charge will not complete here. That's a major slowdown, a major advantage that herO was about to get to, that he will now not be able to utilize at all. 2 more Stalkers popping up. Another couple Stalkers coming over. Marines, tanks gathering as well. Uh-oh. Tanks just going to absolutely blast those Immortals. Marines firing through also. Stalker's going to blink after the Raven. Oh. Run, Raven, run! He's going to get out of there, actually. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, good job by the Raven. Stalker's still going for him, but he ain't going to get there. Oh, he is. I don't know why I just completely disregarded the fact that Stalkers can blink, but I did for a moment. As Q Feels like you did a lot with this. I mean, you're coming out of this 11 workers in the lead. You're coming out of this 7 army supply in the lead. Third base building. Your opponent's third has to rebuild. I mean, come on. He has to rebuild a Twilight, a third Nexus. This is a complete disaster from herO in this game. He is not in a great spot, and it might just be herO is going to take first place in this group, which is awesome because herO's been playing great lately. If I had to predict a first place going into today, it would have easily been herO. But herO has played some solid SC2 today as well. I think he played great against Solar outside of that King's Cove game, which I don't know why that King's Cove get into the map pool, honestly. And then we also have the, the games against Showtime was pretty sick. Yeah, cool to see herO playing well. Fun to watch him succeed, because I didn't know what to think of herO lately. I felt like he was kind of starting to trail off a little bit, but he bouncing back slightly. There's a couple Widow Mines will load up to the high ground. Mortal Gazelle just trying to harass. We'll get a reactor. I mean, herO's just trying to pick whatever he can get at the moment. He needs some sort of damage. There's just not a lot of damage available while the Terran sits on only 2 bases, but they have the luxury of sitting on only 2 bases because there's no reason to move off of 2 bases for the foreseeable future. Right, you have no reason to move away from this. I actually don't know what that was. Is that just medevac? Something just went down here. I didn't quite catch what that was, but I think it was an air unit. As the Widow Mines will drop. Maybe it was one of the Banshees from the other side, actually. It's just getting repaired or so. Widow Mines go for 3 workers. Banshee's going to try and pick away at the battery. Our Stalker's here. We just need an observer, and apparently that's not nearby. But the Prism will back it up again. The Banshee will back it up, and realistically the Bioforce is taking another chance to come through the middle of the map. But looking to kill off this third base and to win this game as herO is in a fantastic spot here. Game number 2 of this best of 3. Looking like it's going to be his, and a 4-0 on the horizon for him. Huge deal. Yeah, map score is going to start becoming a huge factor in this group as well. It'll be actually very fun to see what the map score of each of the players is coming out of this series, because then we can actually talk a little bit about what's really necessary for each player to advance. Because there's a world where going 1-1 in the round robin that's about to come up between the 3 players is just not going to be good enough for some players because map score's already so favorable. For example, Showtime was the only guy to lose a map to Hearthstone. Solar's the only guy to take a map off of herO. Those are a couple things that could help, for example, right? So in theory, I guess Solar's in the best position. Showtime's in the worst. herO's kind of in a middling spot. So all Solar needs to do is probably just not go 0-2 from here. It's going to be interesting. This game is not over yet, apparently, as Storm is going to finish, but it's going to take a fight or two for me to be convinced to start hyping this up again, because I think this game may as well be over, but let's see. I mean, with 12 workers behind, you could argue that herO's going to have one shot with some Storms, and maybe some initial Storms can make a fight go your way. I don't really believe in it, but he's not left the game, so I'll accept that it might still happen, I suppose. Units gather up, a few extra Zealots coming through, Marines, Widow Mines coming online, Engineering Bay and the Armory coming up as well. Guardian Shield popping, and we are going to have our Battle Units just going to start fighting here. Storm comes down, Battle Unit's going to move it to the side. Well, we do have ourselves the Bioforce coming up. Just going to be having ourselves another round of units warping in. Another Storm on that ramp. Well, Stalkers are going to get hit. Our Bio Units are firing. Zealots are still working their way forward. Zealots taking a whole chunk of damage. Another Storm on this ramp. Marines taking damage. Marauders taking shots. Our Templars are out of energy. herO still leads by 40 supply, including a worker advantage. Now, considering the Protoss usually wants to be ahead 10 workers, the fact you're down by 7, also on 0-0 upgrades to 1-1, Terran starting 2-2. Again, there's just so many reasons why you don't love this as a Protoss. You're now very Archon heavy against someone who actually has plenty of Ghosts and still some Mines as well to supplement. Maybe the Mines go down, but I mean, the Ghosts alone are going to get rid of a lot of these Archons and nullify what they can do. Immediately one Archon in the front is just going to melt, no shields left on it. They're actually out of EMPs, so the other Archons will stand their ground a little bit. We actually saved that Archon that was low shields, by the way, so credit where it's due. Good micro from herO is keeping a very lost game somewhat alive. Top left, that Marine just nibbling up on the pylon as well, working our way through that. A few probes transfer to that upper mineral line. A few Zealots get through, picking off the Marine as well. 2-2 upgrades still building on the Engineering base. So take a moment to breathe. Thank you so much, Artemis Fowl 44 HD. 2-month resub. Thank you for everything regarding SE2. Thank you so much for supporting it, mate. Again, appreciate the sub. Thank you so much for 2 months. Here's hoping for many more. There's our bio. We'll lose a... he's actually going to get a great surround. Oh. It's our second recall of the game that's going to do absolutely nothing. Not every day you see a recall 0 units. So that's going to be one that happens twice. Now, if we lose a few SCVs, it's not worth the Stalkers going down, though, as hero's already struggling for numbers. He's in a situation where he needs every unit to be traded out efficiently. And right now, every unit is just not being traded out efficiently is the problem. Those coming around, some more Vikings coming up. We haven't had much need for Vikings. I think maybe one died earlier. I think YouTube chat pointed out, thank you very much, that what died over here that I was confused about might have been the Viking chasing the prisms, so that does make sense. A couple of Widowmine's Burrow. Storms are just kind of shy of the mark. That's the problem, you've got to put those storms down kind of ahead of time. Come over. Archon going to be taking some hits. A couple Archons going to be taking hits. Zealots in trouble. High Templars drop the Storm again. Bio pulling back. The Ghost pulling back. Archons will fall. Zealots are going to drop. I mean, I was expecting this fight to happen 5 minutes ago again. 2 games where I feel like herO did not need the last 5 minutes of the game to really happen. But he gives a lot of respect to herO, and he'd rather play it much more safely than sorrowly. Yeah, he'd rather just not take any risk at all, right? And that's pretty much what happens as that bio comes through. GG's. Cure will take game number 2, and Cure will finish this group 4-0. What an amazing result for Cure.